Hello students, how are you? Last session we completed linear programming in two variables, which is for standard 10th State Board of Maharashtra. This is the new fresh video of linear programming problem related to 12th standard State Board and other boards also. This is the request came from student that they need some help for linear programming problem standard 12. So I have to create this video for them. So this series will belongs to linear programming in two variables, which is standard 12th. So logic will be same across all the boards, whether state board, CBSE, ICSE, or any other board, right? So logic will be same across all the boards. So you need to understand the logic before progressing how to solve the problem, because solving problem is important, but logic understanding is also important. This is all motive of my channel. This particular series will be mostly based in English because most the student who requested they follow the English language. I'll be creating a separate video for in Hindi also. But if anyone read as soon as possible the same video in Hindi, they can comment me. Subscribe also and share to your friends so that they learn from this video. Okay, my motive is to teach each and every student so that they can learn free and they can experience the private tuition from my video. Okay, let's proceed. What is linear programming? Linear programming we have already learned in the standard 10. Again, linear programming is something which is linear in nature. Let's begin this session. Very exciting linear programming in two variables. So the first, which is very important, one of the mathematician N.H. Abel, he have given one theory, not theory, one thought. I can say it's not a theory, it's a thought. It says it appears to me that if one wants to make progress in mathematics, one should study the masters and not the pupils. What does it mean? Right? Immediately you can Google and understand what does it mean. But overall, the meaning of this, if you want to learn the mathematics, in-depth mathematics, not just solving one or two equation or problem for just get the marks in the board exam. No, you need to understand in-depth logic. You need to study the masters who are the master in mathematics. Okay, rather than studying anything else, you need to study the master. Once you study the master, right, you will be a master. At least not a master, then at least you can be a shadow of the master, right? For example, if someone follow Sachin Tendulkar, right, at least they can get some knowledge of Sachin Tendulkar. Let's proceed in a very exciting session. Okay, overall this linear programming problem, right, this is being used to maximize or minimize the linear function. When I say linear function, it is just not the linear function. In real life also it is very useful. So for example, you will be given some situation. On basis of situation, you have to understand what is the minimum cost you have to bear, what is the maximum profit you can gain. So that is the overall motive of this particular chapter. This is very big motive for this chapter. In all sector, right? Everything related to money, everything related to maximization of profit. So this particular linear programming problem will give age to maximize your profit and minimize the cost, right? For example, you people are going to private tuition, so you need to calculate and understand the amount of you're paying, right? You're getting that much knowledge to over there or not, or if something is available free, right, why should we waste money over there? So that is your calculation how to do that. This particular chapter help you. What is this linear programming altogether? The motive of the linear programming to maximize the profit and minimize the cost. It cannot be vice versa. No one want to minimize the profit or maximize the cost, because that's blunder, right? In any business, if anyone want to minimize the profit, that business is not going to survive. Okay, there are some constraint. Let's speak about the constraint in details. Let's move forward. So LPP, short name, is an optimization technique used in different fields such as management, planning, production, and transportation. As I mentioned, it's widely used. It's used in management. Management have to identify how much resource they have to use, how they have to plan it. Production, transportation, everywhere. The meaning of this linear programming problem is that you have to maximize your profit. How? That's your job. You have to use that function carefully. Okay, when it was developed, this has been developed long back. It's not something new to you, right? Don't worry that some syllabus included to you just to ruin your school life. No, This has been developed during Second World War to optimize the utilization of limited resource to get maximum returns. Let's move forward and understand what else linear programming is used to minimize the cost of production and maximize the profit. Same, which I have said in the beginning of the video. Overall motive it will remain same in any field. The manager, right? How they plan, how they take decision, how they cut resource, how they add resource. You can get the glimpse from him. Okay, so it's very widely used, student, my dear student. So do not skip this particular chapter, and this will not going to leave you, right? If you're going to study engineering or mathematics in the higher grade, this is not going to leave you. This is there. Okay, so you cannot skip 12th standard mathematics at all of linear programming problem. Okay, so there will be some methods, some steps which you need to follow while working on linear programming. What are those methods? So step one, identify the decision variable. That what we supposed to do. Identify the decision variables means what? X, Y, two variables. It can be anything, a comma b, b comma c, c comma, two variables. You need to identify. Whatever they're asking, you need to put that into variable forms. Variable forms means what? Its value is going to change, right? We will study in detail. So for example, someone asked to calculate number of pen and book, right, in such given amount. So you have to set variable for pen as x, book as y, so that you can proceed further. Similarly, you have to identify mathematical expression. When I say mathematical expression is the equation. For example, 2 plus 3 equal to 5. So that is mathematical expression. So similarly, 2x plus 3y equal to some number like that, you have to work on it, right? So if you have any kind of doubt, right, how this works, because this is again related to 10th standard mathematics, linear programming in two variables. I have created ideas from A to Z, so you can watch this. I'll give a link in my video, so you can go and check all those video in details. It has all the details, practice session, problem set, everything. This is only, and that's absolutely free, no charges. Next, you have to identify the constraint. When I say constraint, there will be some limitation. This is something new, right? This was not in 10 standards. Constant means this value should not go beyond this, right? When I say maximization of profit, minimization of cost, so that cost should not go beyond this. Profit you need to maximize should not be below this. Everyone has limitation, right? We cannot awake 24 hours in a day. We cannot sleep 20 hours a day. People will love to sleep, right? I understand that, but okay, but we cannot sleep. This way, our human body will not support it. Okay, even parents will not support. Okay, so there are some limitation. We have to study in details. We'll move forward and let you know what we're supposed to do with the help of one example. This video I'll keep short because this is just an introductory video of linear programming problem. Okay, sums and everything will solve in the next video. Let's understand the linear programming, what we're supposed to do. So just with the help of example, first you have to frame the equation. How will you frame the equation? You have to identify the variables, frame the equation, solve the equation. Later it will come how to maximize and minimize. That is the later part. The first part, to frame the equation, which is mandatory. If your equation is wrong, if your base for your bright future, your base should be strong. Okay, let's read this in details. One by one line you have to read. What is written? A toy manufacturer produce bicycle. A toy manufacturer produce bicycle and tricycle, each of which must be processed through two machines, A and B. Machine A has maximum 120 hours. Here come constraint. Machine A 120 hours available, not more than. Machine B has maximum 180 hours available. Right, that's a maximum thing. Manufacturing a bicycle requires 4 hours on machine A and 10 hours on machine B. This is the condition they have given. This is the condition they have given. With the help of condition, we have to frame the equation. Again, this is similar task what we have done in 10th standard. You can watch the video which I've created, right? So link already provided, you can go and check that. If you have any kind of basic doubt, even though Apart from that, if you have a doubt, please comment me. I'll definitely help you out. Next, manufacturing a tricycle requires 6 hours A and 3 hours on machine B. If profit given a bicycle this and tricycle this, formulate LPP to have maximum profit. Here come the condition requirement, have a maximum profit. Profit chahiye bachcho, they need a maximum profit, right? We have to frame the equation so that maximum profit can be achieved, right? So for this, let's Z be the profit. They ask maximize, let Z be the profit, which can be made by manufacturing and selling X tricycle and Y bicycle. So this comes the variable X and Y. X goes to tricycle, Y goes to bicycle. Also, because here comes a profit, right? X should not be less than 0. It should be always greater than 0, or it can be equal to 0. It should not go beyond 0, the value of X, the variable. Why? You should ask question, right? Question asking is very, very good quality of any human being on the earth, right? So when I say X should not be 0, less than 0, why? Because it will be negative, right? So do you think profit negative is good for us? No, right? For example, here I have taken a variable of tricycle 65. If it is -1, -65, do you think it will work? No way. So total profit maximization 40x tricycle. So how much tricycle they have given? 45. So 45x. Here come 45x. Bicycle how much? 65. So 65y. So total profit 45x plus 65y. This should be the profit. And maximize, when I say maximize, the total profit should be like this, right? While solving this equation, we will study in detail how to maximize or minimize, but this is now just to frame the equation. Okay, student, I hope student you are understanding the concept. If you have any sort of doubts, please comment me. If you need a direct contact details where you can reach me, right? Comment me. I'll definitely provide you the contact details for a private help, and it will be free, don't worry. So okay, the machine A, machine B. So two machines they have given. Now check the condition. For machine A and B, machine A has maximum 120 hours. And how it is segregated? Machine A, tricycle. Okay, for tricycle, let's see how it has been utilized. Machine A. In first condition, manufacturing a bicycle requires 4 hours on machine A. 4 hours. See this. Manufacturing a bicycle requires 4 hours on machine A, bicycle, and 10 hours on machine B. So this is the condition for bicycle. And manufacturing a tricycle requires 6 hours on machine A and 3 hours on machine B. So machine A and B, this is the how it works. Okay, availability 180 hours for machine B, 120 hours for machine A. From the above table, okay, so we can derive the equation now. How? The first one. So we have assumed 6x plus 4y less than equal to 120, because it cannot go beyond 120 because maximum availability is 120. So it should be always equal to less than 120. We cannot use machine more than available. For machine B also, 3x plus 10y less than 180. This also cannot be used more than 180. So we got the equation, right? Two equations plus maximize. What we have to maximize? This is the equation which we have to maximize to get maximum profit. Okay, and constant x value should not be less than 0, y value should not be 0, and the equation this should not be more than 120, this should not be more than 120. Okay, so this is how we have to frame the equation. This is just an example to give overview. The details, problems and question solutions, everything in the next session. Keep learning. We'll see you in next video.